I pretty much am like Teresa of Avila saying, prayer is a conversation with a friend. So that's kind of my basic prayer, is conversation and bringing everything that I'm dealing with to the Lord. Now, how do you balance that? Well, I have certain structure in my life. I'm more of a night person, so I'm probably finishing up my prayers in the evening, and I got to be careful I'm not too exhausted I fall asleep. But when I thought, how is this possible, and why are we trying to do it? Jesus is preaching and teaching in Capernaum all day. He's very busy teaching. Then he's healing all kinds of people. So once somebody knows they can get healed, they're mobbing him. Then he goes over to Peter's house, walks in, and he cures Peter's mother-in-law. And then she waits on him. And then there seems to be kind of a little bit of a break, but then the scriptures say the people kept coming and they surrounded the house with him, with all these folks. So he's very busy doing ministry. Then that gospel takes a shift. It says, early the next day, Jesus went out to a lonely place in the desert to pray. So he escaped the activity and he was being re-energized by the Father. And that's kind of the Carmelite vocation. We're serving people, but we still have time for the Lord, and we're responsible to seeing it happen. Then it says Simon and his companions managed to track him down. That's one of the, I thought like they're out there tracking an animal down that they're hunting. Didn't it seem obvious he wanted to get away, to pray to get away from him? And they said, the disciples said, everybody's looking for you. Well, Jesus knew they were all looking for him. And they want you to come back to Capernaum. But Jesus says, no, we're going to move on to the next towns, to other towns, because this is what I've been called to do. So it's Jesus, the active minister, Jesus who prays, Jesus who's the mendicant who moves on to the next site. And really, religious life is to sort of live something so intensively for the Lord that people look at that and say, well, there's a value. The Franciscans, they imitate the poor Jesus. The Dominicans, the preaching Jesus. The Vincentians and Sisters of Charity, the Jesus that took care of the poor. We're the ones that are trying to balance prayer and ministry. We hope we're like the prayerful Jesus.